What is going on, guys? Dave from Wake Up It's Magic. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe button, all that good stuff. But today I'm bringing you guys a video on why I decided to build this cube. This is a 1997 to 2003 old border cube on a budget. There are cards that are pretty expensive and you don't want to shell out 30, 40, 50, 60 bucks for one card. So as you can see here, total sets, 18 of them, and they range from 1997 to 2003. I wanted to go back in time to build a cube where it's nothing but the old border stuff. Even if I have reprints of it in my own collection, I did not want to use those cards. I wanted to go buy those specific cards from those specific sets and have a legitimate old border cube. So that's what I went out and did. I just finished the second batch of cards on TCG Player last night. Those are going to be coming in the mail. I currently have about 250 of the 360 cards. Originally, I wanted to start with the Urza's block and go forward to Scourge with no core sets included, no like supplementary sets or anything like that. But as I started building out the cube, I started to see that I needed more power. I needed a little bit more power, and I decided to go one more block back and include the Tempest block as well. I think it allowed me to have a good enough pool of cards to choose from and build a cube around. So that's kind of how and why I decided to build this cube. I know there's a lot of cards that are coming out today, and they might be fun and exciting. For me, it was more fun and exciting to go back in time and do this. So white is going to be more of an evasive color. Blue is my kind of control and counter. Black is reanimate and remove. Red is haste and damage, and then green kind of has a ramp and big body, big creature theme. Also has a little bit of a +1/+1 counter theme to it. But we'll get to the cube. This is how I compiled my pool of cards. I do use Deck Builder on my phone and on my PC, and pretty much what I did is I went through every single set, every single one of the cards from all 18 sets, and I compiled a list of this 1,108 cards here. And from those 1,108 cards, I had to narrow it down to 360. And basically, I went through every card and figured, do I like it? Do I not like it? I added it to the yes list or maybe to the no list, and I also cross-referenced maybe about 7, 8, 9 old border cubes from Cube Cobra, other cubes that other people built, and what I decided to do is cross-reference all of those to the cards that I have on my list, see what cards are coming up the most. When you cross-reference them all, this card's in 6 or 7 of these cubes, is it on my list? If it's a yes, definitely including it. If it's a no and it's not on my list, I go back, look at the card, evaluate it. Why is that card not on my list? Did I maybe just kind of skip over it? What kind of implications does it have to the cube? And then maybe I would end up including it in the cube as well. So there was definitely some cards like that on the list that I did end up including that originally weren't on my list. But I would extract this list from Deck Builder into Excel. And basically I put together a file, a bunch of different tabs. This one just kind of really quickly, for my reference, showed how many cards were in each set. The main set from each block always had 350 cards. 20 of those were basic lands, so I did 330. 110 commons, uncommons, and rares. And then as you can see, the smaller sets only had 143 cards in each one. And that was the pattern across every one. 330, 143, 143, 330, 143, 143, and so on. So I decided to divvy out the tabs by color. I think that was the easiest way for me to do it. And for your reference, really quickly, blue just means that I own the card and the card is already sleeved up, ready to go for the cube. Orange was a maybe card. This was a card maybe I already had on my list and decided to remove. And then green is a card that is in the cube. I just don't own it yet. It's on its way and is not yet sleeved up or ready to go. So that's kind of how I color-coded things just for my reference again, and I'll show you the list on Cube Cobra here. White was a color again more elusive, very in the beginning. A lot of cards that have first strike, a lot of cards that kind of like have shadow, and then later on as the curve gets bigger, you're going to see creatures that have flying. Commander Esha flying, Windborn Muse flying, Blinding Angel, Karmic Guide, Exalted Angel, Eternal Dragon, Akroma. All these creatures have flying. So a lot of elusiveness in white. You do have some of your classic cards, Disenchant, Arrest, Pacifism, Seal of Cleansing, that type of thing. Blue, Counter and Control. Tends to also tends to have some flying there. Some more classics like Brainstorm, Opt, Counterspell, Daze, Mana Leak. A lot of that fun stuff. Black, Removal, and Reanimation. So you're gonna have cards like maybe Doomed Necromancer in the cube. Um, let's see, Vendetta Removal, Edict Removal, Smother Removal, Banishing Removal. Here's a card to reanimate a little bit, Reaping the Graves. It's not reanimate necessarily, brings it back to your hand. You do have Unearth. You got Exhume, Death's Duet, Victimize, Zombify. So that also Phyrexian Reclamation and Tortured Existence to bring cards back from the graveyard. Red, more haste and more damage. So, I mean, Grim Lavamancer is kind of a classic card there. I did have to put together a little bit of a goblin theme because red was a little bit on the weaker side. So as you can see, you're going to see some goblins here as well. But then there's a lot of stuff that burns. Unfortunately, no Chain Lightning, no Lightning Bolt. Those were not in these 18 sets. So would have been nice to have those, but those cards are not included in red. And then green, kind of big boys, and there is a little bit of a +1/+1 counter theme and a little bit of a ramp theme as well. So you're going to see cards like, where are they? Harrow, Lay of the Land, Rampant Growth, Explosive Vegetation, those types of cards. Definitely in the cube. Classic, Rancor. And then I built 40 multicolored cards, 25 colorless. Artifacts were tough. Either they were super expensive or they all stunk. So I had to find a decent middle there. And then 20 lands, just 2 in each color. Couldn't do the fetch lands. They were too expensive, unfortunately. So again, on a budget. But if you do like to draft cubes, if you would like to maybe draft this cube, I think you can play test it as well. I've done it a couple of times yesterday, but you can also find it if you go to Cube Cobra. You want to just kind of search for cubes. Here you just type in old border and you can find it right away. Oops, I typed in border wrong. Right here. And the easiest way to find it is either by my name, WizPiss, or 1997 to 2003 old border cube. I don't think anyone else has it listed like that. So you can find like that. If you like to draft it, let me know if you do draft it. Put your comments down, what you liked, what you didn't like, what colors that you went into, that type of thing. I can also see it here. I think it'll show up in the recent decks there. But super excited to have this cube in paper and then just have it forever. I can have this old border cube forever. And I would draft one right now with you guys, but I take too long to make decisions and it would be longer than it should be. So I appreciate you guys tuning in. Let me know thoughts about this cube and all that good stuff. Here it says $475 to build the cube. It actually cost me like $300, but let me know what you guys think. I like that I'm going to have this cube forever, and definitely as time goes on, I may include and exclude some cards, pull some in, pull some out. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Feel free to like, subscribe, but that's all I got for you guys today. I'm out.